Happy 2023. It's cold outside. So where I live in Reno, Nevada, it was 10 freaking degrees outside this morning. It was so cold that people's tree branches are literally falling off like ice cubes. This is nuts. I hope your New Year's went well. My wife and I spent New Year's Eve on the couch watching a new HBO series called White Lotus. It's pretty rad. I suggest you check that out. Well, we watched that until about 5 p.m. and then we decided to take Chris up on his offer to come send off 2022 at his house. Before we got in the car, mind you, it's snowing like a freaking blizzard outside with these heavy, wet snowflakes like all day. And we make our way to his house, had a raclette dinner for the first time where it's about 20 people all roast these meats and cheeses on a burner, and we ate and drank like kings and partied our literal asses off until about 4 a.m. Slept a few hours and drove home in this frozen white tundra you saw here today. It was fun, it was cold, and now it's time to talk about RGB tubes. Why? Because my New Year's resolution is to do a whole bunch more videos, more than usual, and today we're doing a shootout on some affordable and sweet RGB LED tubes, the Nanlite Pavotube 30C against the GVM BD100. Check it out. So RGB tubes are fun. They're like the funnest piece of equipment on our rack here at Dream Pilot Films. We use them for all kinds of shoots, everything from music videos to commercials, social media ads, even corporate videos and about us style content. They're rad because you can set them almost anywhere and get really awesome and cool color contrast, more creative lighting than you can with just boring old 5600K lights. Over the past 5 or so years, LED tubes have come a seriously long way. I think the first ones to my recollection were those quasar science tubes that were basically 5600 Kelvin and pretty expensive. You could buy these gel sleeves for them and that was pretty cool. But as technology developed and more manufacturers got into the lighting game, pricing was driven down and cooler lights came out. I don't mean cooler, but awesomer and awesomer. Now we have all these battery-powered, color-changing RGB tubes that are pretty affordable and fun as hell to use on a shoot. Last year, or 2 years ago or so, I bought these GVM BD100 lights for something like $500 for the pair, and then I got a pair of the Nanlite Pavotubes. They were over $600 for the pair, but seemed to be pretty awesome for the money. For the GVM BD100, the highlights say they're for photo and video enthusiasts. They output 900 lux at 3.3 feet for each light. They're 3200 to 5600 Kelvin. They have a RGB mode, an onboard and app control. The CRI says 97 here. There's 8 preset special effects, built-in rechargeable battery, AC power, double lamp bracket for mounting, aluminum and plastic construction. They include power adapters, bracket, and bag. So we use this GVM BD400 to illuminate the scene when we shoot all those video types that I told you about before. These light wands can be used separately as side, back, or hair lights, or they can be grouped together with a bracket to illuminate larger areas. Now this is a 3-foot wand that outputs up to 900 lux at 3.3 feet and combines an extended continuous variable color temperature range with a multi-hued RGB color palette. They can be tuned to meet ambient conditions, have a variable color CCT that goes from 3200 Kelvin to 56. The RGB range allows you to choose from a myriad of colors and hues, while the high CRI rating of 97 assures accurate color reproduction. The integrated battery can be recharged with the included power supply, which is nice, and the kit includes a double lamp bracket for mounting as well as a bag for convenient storage and transportation. The BD100 features 8 built-in special effects to choose from, including lightning, candlelight, which you can kind of see. We recently used it at our company Christmas party. We turned out all the lights in the studios and had our RGB tubes everywhere with the candle special effects on. It was actually pretty nice. They also have a TV static, so you can kind of tell if it's off screen. It looks like the flicker from an old black and white TV. They also have a bad bulb setting, which reminds me of a spooky horror movie hospital hallway. A party mode, which has a speed setting that you can dial in different milliseconds, and disco mode, and a paparazzi mode. I will say the disco mode is pretty much super similar to the party mode. I don't really know what the difference is. And then paparazzi looks like a bunch of flash photography shooting off. There's about an hour and a half of power on a full charge at maximum brightness, but can't really say how long the battery takes to charge because the two I have, the battery gauge is always saying it's charging, seemingly no matter if it's fully charged or not. The menu is okay. It's easy, but it's slightly awkward, kind of like the original Nokia phones where they had a bunch of big buttons while they just function properly. It's kind of clunky in my opinion. So for the Nanlite Pavotube 30C highlights, it says on B&H they're for photo, video, and film production. The output is 588 lux at 3.3 feet for each light. They also have a wider CCT range, which is 2700 all the way up to 5600 Kelvin. They also have an RGB mode, onboard and wireless control. This is a little bit weird. The CRI says 95 on B&H on the overview, but if you jump over to the specs, it says the CRI is 98, somewhere between 95 and 98. I think that has something to do with the CCT values. So there's 6 preset special effects, built-in rechargeable battery with AC power as well, T12 mounting or quarter 20, depending on what suits you. They're compatible with the optional remote control. It includes the adapter, clips, and bag. The Nanlite is a bit longer. It measures 4 feet in length. The versatile Pavotube 30C kit from Nanlite is ideal for filmmakers and content creators setting up lighting in the studio or on location. The kit I bought included 2 tube lights with AC adapters, mounting clips, and a bag for storage and transport. The Pavotube 30C also allows synchronizing multiple tubes together to meet your creative expressions and demands at any time. It has a built-in rechargeable battery that will give you about 2.2 hour runtime on a full charge at 100% power. And this light also offers universal power capability via its included power supply. So the Nanlite Pavotubes have a cop car setting as well, which I find to be a little bit more realistic. You can dial in a ton of different settings on it. It has a lot more versatility than the GVMs. They also have the candle mode, which is super nice. They have something called a flash timer, which is kind of just flashes through RGB depending on the color variations and the speed at which you want them to change. They also have something called an SOS mode. They also have their own lightning mode, which is pretty nice. I actually like this one. The special effects on the Pavotube definitely get points towards Nanlite. The menu is also really nice compared to the GVM models. They have twist knobs instead of buttons, and it's pretty easy and seamless to navigate through the options. So I'll give some points to the GVM brand for having fewer electronics issues though. Not that the Pavotubes have been rough or anything, but the menu sort of jumps around a bit on them, whereas the GVM brand have had 0 hiccups while using them. Now, like I said, I bought these GVM lights for about $500 for 2 of them, and they're still that same price at B&H. However, on the GVM website, sorry B&H, these lights are now $3.99 for a pair. The Nanlites, they're an older model and have now been replaced by the Pavotube 30X, I believe it's called. The 30X seems to be pretty awesome and more powerful, but I've done 0 research on them, and I will say I'm completely happy with these 30C tubes. I bought these guys for just over $600 a year and a half ago or so. Today, B&H has them for $379 for the 2-light kit. That's a huge savings, and for real impresses me enough to grab some more. $379 for 2 4-foot RGB LED tubes is incredible, and I recommend you grab some before they're gone. I went to Nanlite today to check up on my specs, and the product pages no longer exist for either the 4-foot tubes or the 2-foot tubes. I think they're just moving on with the new Pavotubes Part 2 that are about $800 for the pair. So my take on the Shootout, well, it's not exactly apples to apples. I mean, the GVM tubes, they're shorter by almost a foot. But they also have less battery, the menu for me is tougher, and they cost more. Also, you can see the LED elements in them, while the Pavotubes are pretty smooth and diffuse, enough just to see the light bloom, which is nice. I'm going with Nanlite all day here, especially at that $379 per pair price. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna go grab a set right now while you're still watching this and they're still available. Peace out, y'all. See you soon.